Welcome to another edition of Sports Talk. Presented weekly on NTV is a cooperative venture between the Newfoundland Labrador Amateur Sports Federation and NTV, designed to showcase and highlight the accomplishments and contributions of the province's athletic community and to promote amateur sport within our province. Here's your host, Dee Murphy.
Karate is one of the three basic martial arts, along with Aikido and Judo. But in Newfoundland and Labrador, karate is by far the biggest sport. More than 2,000 members of the Newfoundland Karate Association and about 20 clubs. About 5 or 6 weeks ago, we had an opportunity, Kevin Simmons and myself, on a Saturday afternoon to drop into the Joe Gillis Karate School in St. John's, where the best black belts from across the province were working out and training, preparing for some competitions. We had an opportunity to watch the training, as you will see on the film. We had an opportunity also to talk to some of the people responsible for the organization of karate in our province. Take a break here for a commercial message. Then we're going to come back and talk to Genial Jerry Lee, the president of karate in Newfoundland and Labrador. For the past 4 years, Jerry Lee has been president of the Provincial Karate Association. I think it's fair to say, Jerry, that during that period of time, you've expanded and grown, and I would suspect that the addition of a great junior program is the biggest accomplishment.
Yes, Dee, the junior program this year has really taken off with the advent of the National Association. Has put a lot of emphasis now on our junior program. This year will be the first year we'll have junior male and female competitors in the national tournament.
Jerry, let's talk numbers. For example, clubs in the province. 20?
Well, we have approximately 20 clubs, and they spread from Stephenville, Port-au-Port, Deer Lake, Hampton, Pasadena, Corner Brook, Grand Falls, Lewisport, Gander, Provincial, University, Upper Gully, St. John's, Holyrood, Gould,
Rocky Harbour, Mount Pearl.
All over Rocky Harbour.
All over the place.
All over the island now.
Okay. Numbers, about 100 in each club, would you say?
Oh, at least 100 active members.
Nothing in Labrador yet?
No, not yet, but it looks like it won't be too far away when we probably will be able to get a good, strong club in Labrador. What we need to start a club is not just some junior belt who visits the community for a little while and then opens up a club and he's gone. We need a qualified, at least first-degree black belt.
All right, do we have 20 in the province?
20. We have 30 qualified black belts. Every club that we have has a qualified instructor.
Ages, young, old?
Our adult class runs from 16 up to 50 in age. And our average age in the adults will be 30 to 35. Kids go from anywhere from 7 to 8 up to 13. That's our junior class. Then they would progress into the senior class from there.
And of course, Jerry, it's male and female.
Oh yes, male and female, of course. We have quite a good representation of females across the island. This year we have one girl will be going with the national team. Over the last couple of years we've had a girl on the provincial team. They've just introduced female sparring over the past 3 years, I think it was. It used to be just form or kata, but now they've opened it up into sparring for the women.
Facilities always a problem.
Sometimes, but with karate, facilities, we don't need a large space. We don't need fancy space. All we need is open area, a couple of thousand square feet, 1,500 square feet, clean and dry.
And much money?
Not very much at all. You buy your suit and your club fee. That's all it's going to cost.
If I want to start karate, and I'm not going to.
Why not?
No, because I've seen some of the older fellas you have, Ernest.
Oh, no.
What would it cost me to get into karate?
To start, I suppose the average fee per month for you to train would be around $25 per month, and a suit would cost you about $40.
Well, a suit is a one-time effort, isn't it?
Well, usually for a student you can get probably 3 years out of a suit, so if you're still around after 3 years, you don't mind buying a second
So
one.
if you compare it to things like bowling and golf and curling,
It's quite inexpensive.
it's in the same price range.
Yes. Probably like bowling, where you have to buy your shoes and your shirt.
And $6 a week is roughly what
Yeah.
you're doing. You've got to be in pretty good condition, of course, to be in karate.
Now, after a while, it's a side effect. The physical fitness is a side effect of karate. When you join, you're treated as a beginner. There's no such thing as a lot of people think you walk in and all of a sudden there's people sick down you and you're used as a punching bag. If that happens, you're in the wrong place. That's time to get rid of that club.
And you have karate is a basic thing. I'm going to talk to your provincial and, of course, our national coach now, Joe Gillies, about the skill levels and so forth and some of that aspects of it. But really, nobody gets hurt in karate, or very seldom.
We have very few injuries in karate. Most of our students, excuse me, that have to stop training because of injuries are injured in other organized sports. They play along with us.
Well, that's the other thing. The karate people are a whole gamut of occupations and professions.
Oh, we have
Firemen, lawyers, and teachers, and
unemployed,
that's true.
to the most employed.
Right. Yeah, I'm saying labor union.
Everything. We have a full spectrum of people in karate, young, old, from every walk of life.
And I would imagine the middle-aged class income to high to low.
Every area.
Jerry, Labrador, the next big move, big push?
We'd like to have a club in Labrador, yes, but we, as I said before, we need a qualified black belt instructor to go there and who's going to be there for at least a few years.
Watson Salt is the head man for karate in the Deer Lake area, and a pretty good club out there. Matter of fact, last year, if I remember correctly, you hosted the Provincial Championship.
Yes, we did, Dee, and as you say, of course, it's a strong club, and numbers, there's lots of numbers there, sort of thing.
How many?
Surrounding areas and all, 200, 250, about.
That's West Coast, so karate is a strong point on the West Coast.
Oh, very strong, very strong. The past 3 or 4 years, very strong.
How many times a week would you have instructions or classes?
Well, twice, say, in the Deer Lake area, Tuesday, Thursday nights, and the surrounding areas, Hampton, Rosemore, there's 2 other nights of the week, really, so.
West Coast athletes are doing well provincially and nationally in karate, too.
Oh, definitely so, definitely so.
All right. Thank you, sir. We're going to take a break here for commercial. Then we're going to come back and talk to Canada's national karate coach, Joe Gillies. Joe Gillies has been connected with karate not only in Newfoundland but across Canada for a goodly number of years. We won't give away his age. But, Joe, let's talk about 84. I think it's fair to say that Newfoundland had its best year nationally in karate in 1984.
Yeah, that's true, Dennis. I mean, 84 was almost a culmination of, on our part for training and improvement on a national level for about 5 years. And, we were kept out of the medals. We got into the semi-finals. We were kept out of the medals.
We got tied with New Brunswick, wasn't you?
Well, yeah, we had tied with New Brunswick. We tied on total points and we tied on full points. We tied on the win-loss records with the team fight against New Brunswick. And we had to put in, both provinces had to put in an extra man for a fight-off. And we lost that one by a squeaker. So, and we've been climbing this greasy pole now for about 10, 11 years.
Didn't just happen.
Oh, no. So we're kind of looking forward to 85 now.
Good team going away.
I think this year we have 85. We got about the most solid team we've ever had because all of these guys, the hardcore of our team in 85 are the 4 or 5 of them have been competing, for the past 11 years.
They won't be nervous about pressure.
Oh, no, and we have a 2-week tour lined up with 4 teams down in Bermuda, 2 weeks in March as a warm-up for the next.
That's hard to take.
Yeah, well, the Bermuda team, they're a good, strong, they got a lot of international.
We're talking about black belts, and that's what you and I are saying.
Oh, absolutely, black belts, yeah.
Well, what about because how many black belts? 30, I think, you're elite, don't you?
Yeah, probably 35 black belts.
Well, what about the other 1,900 people who are in karate in our province? What's the skill level there?
Well, they're at all different levels. We're talking there about juniors
Well, overall,
and adults. Oh, my God. If I look back now, Dennis, and the older senior boys, we've often looked at it and say that guys who were after about 4 years of training, they're about the level that we were at after about eight years of
like
training.
the other sports in Newfoundland. I mean, like the hockey players, the minor ones now are similar to high school a few years ago, volleyball and something.
Well, I think, you and I have been associated with sport in Newfoundland for a long time, and it's just tremendous when you look back over the years.
Do you see a better acceptance of karate as a sport now than, say, even 5 years ago?
Oh, I think so. First of all, that old sort of mystique about it is kind of taken off, where it's been removed. And there's still a lot, though, where people feel that you got to be in shape to even start karate. That's what I find the most difficult thing to deal with people. People come in, like yourself, and after you're in, you get in shape. You don't have to get in shape and lose all that weight. You work at your own level. We're all sort of intelligent people, and we have a good, intelligent instructors program, and all our schools instructors are qualified instructors, not just qualified black belts. They must then qualify to be instructors.
Joe, you've been appointed national coach this year. That means you go to World Championships for Canadian team. That's a great responsibility. But we have some boys here, and I suppose maybe girls. We do certainly have some karate athletes who are international caliber.
Oh, yes, yeah. I have to be honest. I think on a world level, we've got a ways to go yet.
Well, one or two is all you
well, we have people, for example, on our national team, and I've just picked the team yesterday for the World Championships in Yugoslavia. And there are people that are on our national squad that really are not of international caliber, so we don't take them. But everybody who goes away now that is picked to go to our World Championships, we make sure they are at least of international caliber. Now, they're probably not the tops as yet, but we're on our way.
Sports, it's a teaching.
Yeah. Oh, yes, yeah. But I think you can bring them up to, Dennis, international caliber home, first, and then you bring them away to international competition to bring up to the top in the world.
Right. So one fallacy, and you have talked about this privately. Karate people do not go out to nightclubs or anywhere looking for rackets to demonstrate their abilities. I suppose they run away, but mostly you never hear of people using karate to really hurt you.
Well, before we started the program, Dennis, your cameraman saw all these adult people walking in here, and they're bowing before they come into the training area. They bow to each other, and he asked me about, these people, bow all the time. What's all that about? And, we don't let up on that. Right from the very beginning, whether adults or kids, they must learn to demonstrate all the way through it. They have control of themselves, that they have self-discipline, that they have composure, and they're in control. And that's extremely important, right? And we drill that into people from the very beginning on up. And you look at some of the top black belts we have here, and, they boogie around pretty touchy places sometimes, but I don't know any of them. Since they've been black belts, at least, they've been into any sort of a racket or fight.
Congratulations, Joe, and I've known you since school days, and I don't think we'd have karate in the status that it is in our province without your time and effort. So congratulations, and thanks for talking to us today. Joe Gillis, the provincial and national karate coach. Bruce Lee is the instructor for Karate Club in the Grand Falls area. Bruce, going pretty well in Central Newfoundland.
Yes, we got a lot of support from the town and the people. And our membership is up.
And how many numbers on membership?
We have about 40 adults, and they've been training now for about 4 years. And there's 12 to 14 brown belts, and we have a fine group of juniors. So it's growing. Right?
Where do you operate in Grand Falls?
From the high school, GFA, elementary gymnasium.
How many times a week?
We have approximately 4 classes.
Do you see it moving into other places like Windsor and Bishop Falls maybe in the near future?
Oh, yes. Right now we're out in Lewisport and Gander, and I travel back and forth and do the 3 clubs. Mm-hmm. And with the brown belts coming up, probably we'll get an instructor or 2 out of that group.
It's an accepted sport in Central Newfoundland.
Oh, yes, very much so.
And look, you do fairly well in provincial competition. Some of the guys doing all right.
Yes, they're getting better. Each competition, they're showing that they're learning and progressing.
Like all sports, it takes time.
Yes.
Bruce Lee, head man in Central Newfoundland for karate. We're going to take a break for a message. Then we're going to come back and talk to Jerry Finn, who is deeply involved with karate on the international level. Jerry Finn has been connected with karate in Newfoundland and Labrador for close to 20 years and has served on most executive positions provincially and a lot nationally. But I'd like you to tell us how a Newfoundlander gets involved as you have internationally. You've been to Cairo and you've been you've been all over the place.
Mm-hmm. Well, about 5 years ago when I first started to travel on the international scene, it was difficult for Canada to have any input into what was happening internationally. So I felt that it was time that we took a leadership role and applied ourselves on an international level in order to force our wants and our wishes around the international community. So from there, of course, I got involved last February. I was invited to a meeting in Lima, Peru, and we started at that time to organize the Pan Americas, country by country.
For karate. Was it in the Pan Am Games before that?
No.
Will it be now, Jerry?
This is all on the verges of happening. But what we wanted to do is reorganize Pan America first, and from that then start on a continent-to-continent movement to the continents of the world.
Heading for the Olympics?
Heading for the Olympics. This was what was at the end of the rainbow.
Judo is in the Olympics, isn't it?
Judo is a full member of the Olympics.
Well, I want to talk about some of the countries you visited, but are you optimistic that in the very near Olympics, maybe in Korea, we'll have karate?
No. Korea, there's a regulation in the IOC Programs Commission that says a sport has to be accepted 6 years prior to it participating. And we're looking right now at the 1992. And I have...
maybe on a demonstration basis in Korea?
In Korea, no. It looks very, very doubtful. There won't be any martial arts outside of judo in the Korean Olympics.
I would expect that besides judo, karate is the only one that can make it.
Well, right now there has been a push by Taekwondo, which is
a part of karate.
Which is a Korean art, but that's sort of fallen to the side, and we again on an international level. I represent the Americas on the world body, and we have a guy from Germany representing Europe, one guy from Indonesia representing Asia, and a chap from
So you
Cairo.
speak for all the Americas and karate at the international level.
Right.
It's not bad for a little fellow from St. John's. I know you've been to Egypt. Is it Egypt?
Well, in the past year I've been to Peru, Budapest, back again to Cairo, back to Holland, into Ireland, and next week I'm off, or 2 weeks' time I'm off to Yugoslavia.
So it's a lot of work, a lot of travel.
A lot of flying. I mean, last 24th of May weekend, I flew to Cairo and back in 3 days. And when people say to me, what did you do for the 24th? I said, I went to Cairo.
Jerry, look, I'm appreciative, and I know the time and effort that people like yourself and Joe Gillis and Jerry Lee and some other people have put into karate. And, again, for all those people who enjoy it, thank you very much. And I really feel that if we got a chance to get in karate in the Olympics and the Pan Am Games, that Jerry Finn is going to play a big role in it.
Thank you very much, Steve.
Man who travels the world for karate from Newfoundland. Charmaine Chafe from the Goulds area, just outside St. John's, is a brown belt, I take it, Charmaine, and I understand a registered nurse. So how did you get into karate?
Well, 4.5 years ago, we just joined, and we stayed there, and I'm here ever since.
Who's we?
Well, me and my sister. Both of us are brown belts.
And she stayed too?
Yes, we did.
What was the reaction? What did your mom say when you told her you're going to study karate?
Well, first they laughed, but now they appreciate it.
And your friends, the nurses in the hospital, what hospital you were
At the Grace.
And at the Grace Hospital, I guess all the nurses know you're a karate expert.
Yes, they do.
And the reaction?
They think it's good. A lot of them join. We've had a lot of nurses join too.
You're not that big. You're not a big woman. You're about, what, 5 foot? 5 foot and maybe about 190 pounds. And it just proves that you can be good in karate without being huge or big.
Yeah, it's true. Not many of the women are big. A lot of our women are small.
You've gained your brown belt. What's the next step for you?
The next step is black.
And you've been away at any competitions?
Just a provincial one. This is my first national.
Have you suffered any injuries?
No, I haven't.
You're lucky then.
Yeah.
Okay, I just think that you're too attractive and too petite to be a karate person, but I'll take Joe Gillis's word for it. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And you certainly had to be impressed with the performance. The whole gamut of operations and all aspects of that karate afternoon is the best way to talk about it that Kevin Simmons and I spent at the Joe Gillis Karate School. You had to be impressed because, believe me, these black belts just oozed confidence. And, I don't know of any sport in Newfoundland that's better organized and has more dedicated individuals than karate. It's certainly equal to any. So that's our karate show for this week. Incidentally, if you're keeping track, since 1977, it's show 289. I would expect we'll be reaching for show 300 in the not-too-distant future, and that'll be marked with special ceremonies or whatever. We'd also like to tell viewers that we have confirmed in principle that in June, NTV Camera and myself will be heading for the west coast of Newfoundland, where we hope to do shows in Stephenville, Pasadena, Corner Brook, Deer Lake, Cow's Head, Springdale, and Bay Vert. Maybe come back with maybe 8 or 9 shows to clearly demonstrate the great amateur sports setup on the west coast of our province. Next Saturday, 3:30 is the time here on NTV. We'll be back with what I think is an extremely interesting show on a sport that is coming along in Newfoundland, synchronized swimming, mainly at the Aqua Arena in St. John's. We'll have a look at some excellent Newfoundland swimmers, and incidentally, this year, Newfoundland is hosting the Canadian Junior Synchronized Swimming Championships, and we'll have an opportunity to talk to some of the people who are putting that very ambitious event together. Incidentally, next Saturday is also the annual meeting of the Newfoundland and Labrador Amateur Sports Federation, and that's shaping up as a very interesting couple of hours.